Dum, 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 dum. I'm in a good mood. No, I'm not. Pray for me, my brother. What is going on, everybody? This is the You Should Know, Omar Kill Solomon, one half of the Culture Cast. For the culture, by the culture, we do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you, bringing you everything you need to know in the world of professional wrestling and other ish. I am joined by a man known all across the world. He is my wonderful co host. Make some noise for Worldwide Ray. What is going on, my brother?
Man, you're not in a good mood, but I am.
The Bears lost, and we'll talk about some other things recently. Make sure you guys follow us on social media, CultureCast Pod on IG, and also on Facebook, CultureCast Pod _ on Twitter. Click the link in the bio. We have merchandise available, guys. So there are the original Culture Cast t-shirts. We got the Worldwide Ray and the Oh You Should Know t-shirts. We got Culture-ish t-shirts. So all these amazing t-shirts sound like an amazing holiday present. I think you should grab one. All the proceeds are donated to independent wrestling. So we are not asking for this money for ourselves. We really want to give back because that is what we do here at the Culture Cast. So make sure you click that link in the bio, Culture Cast Pod on social media, and then throw an underscore if you are on Twitter. But you know, I'm not gonna lie. Other than the Bears, Ray, it is a great day because we all know we are recording this on November 8th, 2020. Yesterday was November 7th, 2020. And we all know what was projected yesterday, the 46th president of the United States. We promise we know this is wrestling, but I'm sorry. I got it. We got to talk about it. It's other ish. Joe Biden is the new president elect of the United States, and this era of the WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump is over. What are your initial thoughts? What were your feelings going into it? Um, and what do just how does it feel just to have a sense of normalcy, slight normalcy again?
First off, I've discovered something when I was just like twiddling around online. As you know, we have our podcast on Spotify,
Mhm.
and I was just logging in to Spotify to like look at the analytics and stuff, and I was just toying around everywhere.
Mhm.
And there's like a breakdown, like Spotify literally breaks down the analytics, like total people that pressed on the podcast. Then they break it down to like total people who listen to like less than a minute, and then like a minute to halfway, and then like the whole thing from start to finish. I'm pretty sure like that crowd that only listens to like a minute probably turned it off right now.
Hey, guess what? You mad? I'm not.
Yeah, but
But
shout out to Spotify for telling people like, yo, we petty right along with you. Listen to they think they could just listen to a minute and be like, all right, I gave them their listen. Spotify's like, we telling them.
no, sir. But what were your thoughts though? New president elect, new vice president elect, man. Pretty, the end of a era, in my opinion. But I'm not. I'm gonna no, in my opinion. So I'm speaking from the chest. I ain't got to hold nothing back. FTD.
Hey, my vice president is black. My Toyota Camry's blue.
And so's my state. Well,
But I'll be
excuse me.
goddamn if my state ain't too.
So's our city, by the way. Our city is suburb. Because I don't know about the state. The rest of the state was red.
Yeah. Whatever's going on in the suburbs, y'all tweaking. That's why you got to side at people. They be like, "Oh, I'm from Chicago." Be
Now that was the
like, where
north.
you really from? Oh,
That
I'm
was the
from.
that was the North Burbs. Out here in the South, we was Gucci. We was Gucci. we true blue. But that it was dope, man. Look at it. That was Biden's best speech he gave last night, and of course, Trump being the egomaniac and a narcissist, just toxic narcissism. I didn't even know that was a word until recently. You can put toxic in front of anything nowadays. LOL. But no, it's just crazy. But I'm just so happy once it's officially over, and then hopefully we can get this virus under control because it's only gonna be better once. I mean, it's gonna be a long road. It's not gonna happen overnight. The virus ain't gonna disappear, even though everybody was in the street yesterday. I hope y'all
It was
safe.
turning up.
Notre Dame, y'all some dumb students rushing.
Hey, but LeBron had a point though. Like we allow fans to run the field, but you're saying no fans can come to NBA games.
Indiana. Indiana. We'll leave it at that. No, so more power though. Hopefully we can get everything under control because not only just the sense of normalcy, but I think we all understand we really miss fans at wrestling, and we'll talk about that later in the show. We really miss going to wrestling shows, talking random shit, yelling to the performers. You know, outdoor shows are cool, small limited shows are cool, but we all know there's nothing like the fan roar and really bonding. Somebody put in the group, we have a Facebook group called The Outsiders, Ask About Us. They were talking about I miss those $15 nachos at wrestling events or some shit like that. So
Hey, those $10 pretzels and $20 beers and stuff. Those used to come in. It's like we complained about it so long until we haven't had it, and we're like, damn.
I see. I wish I could. I have not drinking beer. I had I had a Heineken a while back for it was an incident because just a little family gets together. I'm like, let me drink this one Heineken. That was back in September, but really I have not had consistent beer maybe since my birthday, and that was in July. For Culture Cast community,
Speaking of beer, matter of fact, you make me want to go get one right now.
my
matter of fact, keep the crowd busy. I'll be right back.
Okay, go get. See now, Ray is going to get a beer to make me jealous, but he doesn't understand. I haven't had a beer since like July. Culture Cast community, you guys, if you click on the YouTube, and for those who are listening audio wise, the beard is still here, but a brother slimmed down a little bit. We out here on this journey. We down like 30 plus pounds. We clanging and banging. LOL. So Rashad thinks he's gonna just get a beer and attempt to make me slide. That's not happening. We don't slide over here. There's no power slide. Shout out to Trey. Okay. Here at the Culture Cast, we make sure we do it for the culture and by the culture. We do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you. Make sure you guys follow on social media. CultureCast Pod, CultureCast Pod _. On Twitter. Look at that perfect timing. See, that's just training. We do this. That's what teamwork is all about, my brother.
Hey, but this is a dope beer I found at Walmart.
Let's see it.
It's called Black is Beautiful. I don't know if you could.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's canned by the Solom Oath Brewery. And actually 100% of these proceedings for the beer will be donated to My Block, My Hood, My City.
Oh, dope.
Black-owned movement here in Chicago.
Definitely. Promote them one more time.
It's by a Solom Oath Brewery. It's called Black is Beautiful. I found this at Walmart. It's Imperial Stout beer. And 100% of the proceedings from purchasing this beer goes back to My Block, My Hood, My City.
No doubt. So for our listeners out there, Chicagoland area, make sure you guys check that out, man. It's all about donating. And speaking of donating, I donated my money to WWE Shop recently, and I purchased one of my favorite performers. I can't talk today. My favorite performances. What the hell am I saying? One of my favorite WWE performers, his superstar, Keith Lee, bask in his glory. So anytime there's a Keith Lee shirt, I try to buy it. Anytime there's a Ricochet shirt or hoodie, I buy it. I can't buy Hurt Business shirts yet until they change the colors, but
Jesus Christ.
Until they change the colors, I can't. I refuse to wear black and gold right now.
Just take the L. Be like, yo, this is black owned.
Fuck that. For those that know me, they know why I'm not wearing black and gold. All right, and it starts with an R and it ends with an U. Rue. Anyways,
some H.
So I took a picture today on a Smith machine. Because I was getting ready for a workout. I said, happy birthday, Keith Lee. It's a massive leg day, right? On every good day. So I just put it on our Culture Cast Twitter account. You guys can go see that. Keith Lee quoted our tweet today, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, here at the Culture Cast, we got good luck. We had Ricochet. We get people that respond to us. That's pretty dope sometimes. Make sure you guys click and follow us too. But anyways, he said, and I quote, if it's really an asterisk, or an asterisk leg day, you got to come out of that Smith machine, homie. And I'm like, oh, so he killed me, right? So look, I'm looking at the response. And it's we got 29 retweets, 5 people have quoted it, 834 people have liked it so far, right? So I responded back
But
to
the clap, did they like the clap back or the actual tweet by you?
they just liked it, they liked this clap back. So I responded. I said I was posing and went to the squat rack after this, laughing emoji. He actually responded again and said, "Good man." So salute to Keith Lee for following up on that. Now, mind you, as you know, Ray, you understand this. I'm a nice person, but if you try me, if I feel like I'm about to get tried or somebody's about to like, I don't care about Keith Lee talk. That's that's superstar, but I'm not about to let no random individual on the internet trying to get no jokes off me off this run. So I went straight to the comments because I'm like, hey, my Twitter fingers are ready and I will come out swinging, right? So some dude, shout out to Michael Finch though, his shout out to Kodiak69. He says, you want a real leg day? Go to a college stadium and run the stairs while doing lunges and one set of stairs to the next one to run again and then run in 10-yard dashes. So then I said, or
I did when I was in Atlanta for college, I tried the whole run the stairs thing, like at the football stadium once, never again, man.
So I told him like, first of all, that's cardio number one. So I said, or I'll just squat and lift weights. And then everybody else liked that comment. And somebody else said, hey, bro, you tripping. Like, that's cardio. I'm like, exactly. Right. And then some other people, somebody hit me with a funny and I oop. So I responded with an Uncle Clifford, rule 24.5, ain't no crying in the pink, So yeah, then one girl went on a soliloquy talking about how she was, how people at the gym was maybe making her feel, I guess in a major city, there's like normal weight rooms and it was dominant. I didn't care. I don't know. She had that on her soul and she felt like this happy birthday thread was her way to let that be known. But she also has an OnlyFans, so make sure you support her. If I click on her, I'm going to report it at the LLL hell. ELLE hell. She got an OnlyFans, so support the people. Support the people. Anyways, enough about other. Shout out to Keith Lee. Happy birthday. Let's talk about this week. First off, we haven't recorded in a while since our recap with the crew with the Midwest Melon and Mafia. So thank y'all for tuning into that episode. Ray, what was some of the best parts of that? And we got another one coming too, but what was some of your favorite parts of that big team up that we put together?
Yeah, like how we just broke down like everything. Like I was just thinking, like you were talking about clapbacks, and I had something in my head like those that make up excuses for why they don't want to listen to our podcast. But I digress.
Oh yeah, on that thread that one day. Oh yeah,
like our fucking podcasts are like 30 to 45 minutes. You can literally do anything while keeping the podcast rolling. Like
it is funny, but we'll get to them group members. We're going to address them individually because we get more. Don't worry, because we got listeners everywhere else. So that's what it's all about, And shout out to the new listeners.
I had a new country that came in.
Come through. While you pull that up, I am going to get us ready to talk about just this past week of wrestling, guys. This show, pretty fun show. We're going to talk about what's happening in the world of wrestling. We're going to review AEW's most recent pay-per-view, Full Gear, that happened yesterday on not election day, but pretty much the decision day. So we're going to talk about Full Gear. We're going to talk about some potential interviews that we have in the works here, and then we're just going to have some more fun and talk about other shit, because that's what we do here. What you got to say, Ray?
Yeah, shout out to Canada and Mexico. Where the hell y'all been? Shout out to Italy. Shout out to Mother Russia. I still got love for you. I don't want you to do anything.
Hey, we got Canada in the house now, eh?
Shout out to Austria. Shout out to Sweden, Indonesia, Singapore. I love them cane. You ever got hit with a Singapore cane?
No comment. Discretion is everything.
It hurts like shit.
No comment. Somebody asked me the other day if I was training to be a wrestler because I could bench like over like 300 plus pounds. I'm like, bro, I'm like, I just like to lift weights. I'm not trying to train for anything, and that's not me. Now I'll be an announcer. I would love to be a ring announcer, but I'm not going to be or a manager, but I'm not going to be a wrestler ever. That's not me. My name is not Worldwide Ray.
Hey
man. Shout out to BSB.
All day. Big Starks brand. Never lost.
Let's talk about this week of wrestling, my brother. Let's kick it off over to Raw and some of the storylines happening on Raw. So what are some things, if you tell me like the one key storyline when you think about it at Raw right now, what is happening to me that draws all your attention?
Right now, it's how everyone's basically coming after Randy. Like Randy Orton has so many targets on his back right now. First, you have Drew trying to get his title back. Then you have The Fiend coming after him. Then on top of that, you have The Miz coming after him. So it's like so many targets on his back. Like it is good because it's like multiple storylines happening at once.
Randy Orton is just, he's, like I said, he's one of the MVPs of this pandemic era, really since this whole year, if you go back to the Rumble. So Randy Orton's doing it. You got Miz with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Thank God. You got Drew on a rampage. So I definitely can agree with that. I'm going to roll with the start and push and stop, and I don't know what's happening, and the knee-jerk reaction of the audience to Retribution. I think that's such a unique stop, because how they were, introducing, how they were rolled out, we all thought they were going to be a major faction. Now, mind you, are they currently a major faction? No, they're mid-card level right now. But as we know on this podcast, what we talk about patience. All right. We understand Ali is not going to be in the title picture right now.
That's how you pronounce his name. Make sure you pronounce it right.
Mustafa.
There you go.
Oh yeah, well, I said Ali, but I mean, come on. We are the Culture Cast. We're gonna try. This is what we're gonna do. So Mustafa Ali is not in the title picture right now, and that's okay. Retribution is not in the title picture right now, and that's okay. It's 2020. There's no fans right now. It's patience is a virtue. Once again, I think somebody said it best. Roman Reigns said it. You ask for long-term storytelling, and then you get upset when it's not long, when it's you don't get what you want right away. So I think Retribution. Now, mind you, I think there could be some better showings personally to really highlight, maybe potentially. I forget what Mia Yim's name is in the group, but Reckoning. So I would love to see a women's match including her, because I know she called out Asuka. So I think that could be I think to me that's a great start personally. But Mustafa had an amazing promo on Raw Talk. He had that amazing network promo. So shout out to Ali. But come on, y'all. They went against the Hurt Business. I'm rooting for everybody black. No offense to Mace, but their black outweighs the other black in terms of outnumbers, not outweighs. So that's dope. That's what I'm thinking about with Raw. Anything else? What else are you talking about with Raw?
I like the Retribution Hurt Business storyline, especially the promos that go along with it. Like, especially how Ali. There was one promo that hit me when he was like, when he told them his name coming against the WWE, he got like so many people talking and so many people questioning, which is why he gave the members of Retribution their names so they could feel what he felt coming in. And I was whoa. Like,
another thing, speaking of promos, talk about the promo battle between Hurt Business and New Day. That was school was in session.
Lashley got bodied in that promo.
That was one-on-one. People like Xavier is so intelligent, so amazing on the mic. He's just such an all-around performer. I think that's like if you want to create a wrestler, Xavier Woods is somebody that you want in terms of like potential, because he can work, he can talk, he's entertaining. Like he's a 5-tool player, and then you got Kofi, who's just one of the goats. He was
bodying Bobby that whole thing.
But I mean, now mind you, shout out to This Is Nasty on Twitter. I think we call it the soul segment because all the black people are always on the same segment together. So I would love to see black people not always in the same segment together. Before it was the Hurt Business and New Day, then it was the Hurt Business and Apollo and Ricochet. It's always like the black folks, like, come on, y'all, we're trying to come together, and why we got to fight each other? Like, ain't nobody got time for that.
I mean, that's what the fans think. All the black and all the luchadors have to be in dream matches against one another and factions with one another.
Exactly.
There's like 100 million new nation dream factions and
This is
Latino
what
World Order factions instead
this is
of
this
mixing
is
it up.
this is what we want. But
Like Garrett's popcorn, you got to get both for it to be good.
you know what? I don't eat popcorn anymore.
The hell's wrong with you?
So ever since I had my teeth pulled, and I've had I broke my wisdom tooth one time. I chipped it, so I had to get it pulled out. So I've got in wisdom teeth pulled, and I've got and I've been awake for all these. Popcorn isn't good for after you get your teeth pulled. So I just haven't had it since I've had oral issues with my teeth. So and by the way, Culture Cast community, I do not wish that pain on anybody. Do not take care of your teeth. You see my smile? You see this fine smile? You see this coming through the screen and coming through your audio waves? Yeah, protect that shit.
Fuck that. It's about to be winter, so you know what that means. It's 10 season at Garrett's. Man,
it's big boy season over here.
let me get that mix in the 10 in the little blue 10.
Man, winter's coming. You know what that means. Shout out to my boy Mark May. It's big boy season. Don't be surprised if your girl tell you she leaving. That's enough on Raw, because if I keep singing, Rashad's gonna put me through an announce test like Lana. So what is number 8 now? Number 8 for she been up through the table?
Hey, I made a prediction like some months ago. Do you remember it?
I can't remember.
Like I predicted that it's going to keep going until like TLC, where it's going to be Lana and somebody else versus them, like in a tag team tables match for the titles. And I think Lana's going to take it.
I would not be surprised.
if that happens, like I need a fucking parade because I called it months ago. And if it happens in December, like
at TLC, like come on. So that's crazy. Enough about Raw. Raw's moving along. Tough week ratings wise, but I don't watch TV for ratings. We watch it because we love wrestling. Shout out to We Love Wrestling. TNA. What's some things happening in TNA for you?
It's Impact, dog.
My TNA. No, I'm kidding. It's Impact. I know. Shout out to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, but shout out to Moose, because you notice like this big character change ever since he did that big like control your narrative match with EC3. It seems like it rubbed off on him, and now Moose is like this serious character when he's like basically saying that he needs to lead, show an example in Impact. So shout out to him and EC3 for coming up with that character for him after that match, because now he's more explosive, more tough on the crowd versus back then he was just that egomaniac, like, oh, I'm the best. Now it's like he's 100% serious now. So shout out to those two for that.
Also, you got to shout out the new Impact Heavyweight World Champion, Rich Swann, the best dancer in the world.
That he deserves a standing ovation based off everything he's been through this past year.
Mm-hmm.
Like stories of him like driving like with a broken leg, him not knowing if he'll even be able to continue to wrestle, and now look at him, he's on top of the world right now as champion.
And I mean, he's always been amazing. He's always been an incredible performer. The story for him to get the titles was super dope. So keep flying, my dude. Also, we always rooting for everybody black. So we rocking with Mr. Swann. What else is happening in TNA? I mean, why do I keep saying TNA today? Impact. Why the hell do I keep saying TNA?
You already know my boys, the North. They're back champions. So shout out to them.
One of the best tag teams in the world, by the way.
Definitely.
We'll talk about tag team match later. So definitely. Then as we move on to NXT, and it's Impact, guys. I know it's Impact. I don't know why I keep saying TNA earlier. I know it's Impact. I apologize. Do not attack me in the comments. Do not. Damn it. Calm down, Marks. It's 9:56 at night, and my vice president is black. Okay. And my president is from Syracuse University, from the state of Delaware. Well, Senator.
Okay, let me bury you. Why the hell is your time 5 minutes ahead? It's 9:50, dude. You just said 9:56.
My computer said 9:56, like real shit.
You need to fix your computer.
Maybe that's why I've been going to work so early. I've been signing into Zoom meetings like extra early. Like, where is everybody? Then I'm about to leave, and they come back on later. So, damn, Ray. I didn't know that until literally just now. I've been like early as hell for like, where's everybody? I'm thinking I'm early. I'm early, or I'm thinking people late, and I'm just early.
Too early, man.
But I'd rather be early than late. But what's never late is the quality of television right now happening on NXT. We got the brand. That's to me the number one thing I want to talk about. Pat McAfee, Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Pete Dunne. Shout out to Pete Dunne, Slim Dunne, love it. That crew going against Undisputed Era. Looks like it likely to end up in a War Games, most likely, we would guess. But first of all, Pat McAfee is a natural in this wrestling game, ladies and gentlemen. I wish everyone had the ability to the gift of gab, to be a bad guy, to make fun of the internet wrestling community, to talk on a mic. So well paced. I think that's the key thing with him. Like, it's not like he's just a good talker. Like, he controls what he's saying. He's not rushed. He knows when to add in a nuance. He knows when to add in the joke. He knows when to be serious. And he's not even a wrestler, or he has little to zero to little training, not that much training really. He's a former punter. So I mean, I know he's an amazing athlete back in West Virginia, but Pat McAfee has done amazing work. Like Oni and Burch, look, they're as big as they've ever been. They've always been able to work. We all know that. Mm-hmm. They seem legit now, like legit badasses. And Pete Dunne is just fucking amazing. So, what are your thoughts on NXT?
That's like the true definition of long-term storytelling. Back in the day, everyone thought it was going to be a one-off match between like McAfee and Adam Cole. They thought it was going to be like some celebrity coming in for a match when this dude fucking bought a ring when he was still with the Colts. Mm-hmm. He bought a ring just to, toy around with, like to train by himself and whatnot, even when he was with the Colts. And, luckily he was able to retire early. Like, we know a story behind that, how everyone thought it was going to be a bad idea, especially Michael Wilbon, who still haven't apologized. So shout out to Michael Wilbon for flaking out on that.
Hey, but he's giving all the hand to Matt Nagy on the internet right now, and I'm for it. But that's a whole nother story.
But yeah, he shows that he's serious about this storyline. Even like for those that actually listen to like his Pat McAfee show that's on every weekday. Like, I like how he ties it into his actual show for like a few minutes or so. So that proves that he's super serious, and this isn't like some one-off celebrity storyline. And look at the people he has behind him. So he, even if he wanted to continue training, look at the 3 people that's in this crew with him. So if he does come back in a big match, which I'm predicting will be a War Games match, like that's when we will really see, what he has.
Perfect. And he's no disqualification, so it's up his alley because he doesn't have much training, and we already saw his athleticism, so he's going to jump off the cage or do something similar. Another thing too is that, like, when you look on his IG, he's posting the videos and his promos, and he's getting like former athletes and probably a lot of mainstream guys that probably, or girls too, that weren't watching wrestling or are from that maybe Ruthless Aggression era, or maybe the Attitude era too, but mainly probably that Cena era. They haven't watched wrestling in a while, and they're commenting, and then they're probably clicking on the WWE because I'm pretty sure he tags it. So they might. So it's all, to me, it's content, and it's amazing. It's sports entertainment. I was thoroughly sports entertained. So I think that is the second best thing happening in NXT though, because the number one thing is just how every week the NXT women put on an amazing show, and I really feel like they deserve an entire card to themselves one week. I really feel like one Wednesday, every match should be a women's match. And I think it would be the highest rated show in NXT history almost. Like, that women's locker room, Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley, Dakota, I can keep going on and on and on. They're so talented, and each week somebody else steps up and they put on an amazing show. So to me, those are the two things I love about NXT. What else is happening in NXT that you want to talk about?
This Johnny Gargano storyline with him as champion.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they said it was some stat about him defending the title that he always loses it or something. So this
Sasha
would be
Banks effect.
something. Yeah, so this would definitely be something to look forward to. Then we're hearing like it's against a mystery opponent, so we don't even know who he's about to face. So they definitely have us dialed in for this upcoming NXT.
NXT is putting on consistent television, so shout out to NXT. And then, of course, lastly, and we'll talk about AEW, of course, because we got to talk about Full Gear. But let's talk about SmackDown. There's only one thing to talk about. There's really two. But the first things first. We just talked about the women in NXT. We got to talk about the women in the WWE. We got to talk about Sasha and Bayley just dominating the ratings, dominating the demos, putting on an amazing match. Sasha actually defending the title and winning. And there's more left on the plate. I really feel like you can take a break, pause this storyline, and bring it right back for Mania season. But Sasha and Bayley, it's just amazing. So to me, that's the best thing to talk about with SmackDown. There's, of course, other things. Otis lost, so that's always a good day for me. But Sasha and Bayley are amazing. What are your thoughts on those two ladies? Just pretty much carrying the flag and leading the locker room almost.
First of all, you need to put some respect on Otis's name.
I'm sorry.
Because before this whole pandemic thing, he definitely was one of the top faces in the WWE.
Otis with crowds, I love him. Let me be honest with you. Otis with a crowd, I'm all for.
I mean, there's a lot of people you could say that this pandemic fucked up. Like,
no, you're right.
Aleister Black is a prime example. Like, without the crowd, fucked up. Like, yeah, we could throw Daniel Bryan in there. Don't fucking piped in guesses. I fucking hate it.
I hate it.
In the New Day, those piped in New Day roster, they're always fucking offbeat. Like,
I mean, you see my hands, so I'm just saying it's not the one side, it's the other side. But I'm just saying.
Like you could tell who. I mean, I don't even want. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be petty. We could tell what kind of people are in the production thing because they have no type of beat. Like you hear the freaking New Day beat, you can't be like, all right, let's sync this together so it could be on beat with the song instead of being 100% off beat with the. You have a trombone helping you, and you still can't.
They'll call Cassidy of them. And I apologize for his brother back there, but I'm sorry. You gotta help them. But no, like I said, Otis with a crowd is dope. Otis without a crowd it's not it for me. It was cool in the beginning, but it just fell flat. And I'm so happy that The Miz has Money in the Bank. Other talent has done well with the no crowds because, and we talked about this a few pods ago, like because you're in an intimate setting, really maximizes your promo, maximizes the ring work. So other people, they performed well, but others, they need that crowd, and more power to them.
Yeah, I'll say those that probably did better without the crowd are probably those, that are still going through those jitters or, going through that mental stage where they're trying to, focus instead of, letting their head get in you. Because once your head starts talking to you, it's no going back, no matter what you're doing in life. Like once your mind starts talking, it's a wrap.
I wish that's why Randy Orton's just such amazing because he's just amazing with the crowd or without a crowd. It's a beautiful thing to watch. We also got Roman. Who would have thought you had Jey Uso go against Kevin Owens and be excited for that match like many, many years ago? Now that's no offense to the Uso, but he was not positioned that way. But just he's positioned like a main event player right now. You love to see it.
Yeah, I like the whole thing where Roman's like, you got to talk to me before you do anything. I was like, whoa.
Hold his ass, buddy.
He was like, if I'm not around, you got to go to Heyman.
So Roman is just the tribal chief. I salute him.
Man.
Speaking of Chief. And just the King of Chicago, real quick, before we talk about AEW Full Gear, I'll be remiss if we didn't talk about RIP to King Von, who was unfortunately shot and he passed away over the weekend. So we send our condolences out. Big fan of Von. I thought he was an amazing rapper. His storytelling, we not from 63rd. Enough said. I'm from the suburbs, but I felt like, we're not from 63rd. No, but it's just unfortunate. It's super sad. I hope and I pray for the youth that we can continue to give them opportunities, so that not only they can help their families, but they can help each other and grow together, so we can, stop this nonsense. We gotta stop this violence, guys. We got to. Seriously. So that's on a serious note. But make sure you guys follow us on social media. We are the Culture Cast, for the culture, by the culture. We do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, I just can't help you. And if you're not down with the culture, to quote Jim Carrey, "Hello, sir," just like 45. All the probably another listener just say, "You know what, MAGA, I'm turning this Culture Cast crap off. You know what? Fuck you." Okay. For the last 4 years, my life has been hell. So I don't care. Anyways, speaking of MAGA, let's talk about Let me stop. You already know I could have talked. Let me stop. All right. Follow us on social media, Culture Cast Pod on Instagram and Facebook, Culture Cast Pod _ on Twitter. We are the Culture Cast. AEW just had an amazing, super solid, probably to me, their best pay-per-view of the pandemic era with Full Gear. Wasn't a better show overall than Revolution, of course. Revolution probably second best show of the year after Rumble. Maybe the best show of the year, actually. It's art, we'll save that for another pod. But Full Gear happened last night. Worldwide Ray. Let's break it down. Let's start with the Eliminator Tournament Finals with Kenny Omega versus Adam Hangman Page. What were your thoughts on that match?
That was a good ass opener. Like they always say in wrestling, if you're not the last person, you want to be the first person to come out, because that one to set the tone, and it gives you the right to come backstage and basically tell everyone to top that or beat that. And that was one of those matches where, like, right out the bat, you're like, oh shit.
They have amazing chemistry.
Yes, and it gets you ready for the rest of the card. You when you go backstage, you're just telling everyone, like, beat that.
That's the Kenny. That was the best match from Kenny Omega since the match with Neville. Yeah, and that Neville match, we all know, was that shit was just beautiful. So I enjoyed, like you said, if you're not the last show, you got to be the first show. The first match. So if you're not the last match, you got to be the first match, and kick off, bring the energy. Kenny Omega, as expected, he defeated Hangman Page. Great match. Next, it went to homie from the Dark Order, Mr. Silver, versus Orange Cassidy. I don't watch Being the Elite, so I learned that storyline came from Being the Elite. I really pray, and I understand AEW, they have a target audience that watches BTE and watches Dark, and they understand every single storyline. But for a person like myself that doesn't watch those shows, unless there's a black person on Dark and I watch that match specifically, shout out to Top Flight, that was on Dark, by the way. And so I'm lost. I know who Orange Cassidy is, but I was kind of confused. I'm like, I thought the Dark Order was supposed to be like some spooky ass group or a dark group. Clearly that guy was not dark, but it was a fun match. What were your thoughts on it?
John Silver, he brings the character and the charisma to Dark Order, which gave that a good match, because he's not one of the ones that are like stand around and moping around and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like if you see on BTE, he's definitely one of the top people on there. Basically, like back in the day where we had SCU and their segments, which were one of the top things on BTE. Like I'd say, John Silver is that new person now that's taking SCU's spot on BTE as one of the top segments. So the match between him and Orange Cassidy, in my opinion, was a pretty good match based off of everything that happened there. With the Dark Order and the Best Friends, like that small storyline, and the fact that it's starting with Silver and Cassidy, I say it's a good startup to something much bigger.
Right. So I mean, other than that, I mean, I like the match. I didn't, I don't watch BT. I'm not about to watch BT, but I thought the match was good. So I guess if you're on the main card, at least put on a good match. And I thought the match was so I enjoyed the match, so and it was pretty cool. Next up, you had Darby Allin versus Cody Rhodes. Yes, for the first time in AEW. Go up for the AEW TNT Championship. No real storyline. The story, it was a real last minute storyline for this match, but with a Cody match, you always can love it because it's always going to take you on a journey. And it led to Darby winning the TNT title. So their first homegrown champion. So shout out to Darby. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was cool. I always love Cody Rhodes matches. I think to me, they take you on that roller coaster. You had the avalanche crossroads from the top rope. I thought that was dope. I loved JR's calls throughout that match. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Then there was the aftermath. You could talk a little bit about the aftermath of the match.
Yeah, that was a great match from Cody and Darby. Darby definitely deserves this title, and I hope he keeps it for a long time because those are definitely some title matches I could look forward to evolving someone who could be as brutal as Darby Allin.
Mm-hmm. It looks like probably the long-term story would be Ricky Starks, as we know, after the match. What's the name of it? It's Taz's crew. So that's the FT.
Was it like Team Taz or something?
Well, I think it's like but what was the name of the Taz's title in ECW?
FTW.
So I think that's the crew name too. FTW, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, and no, yes, Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. They're trying to recruit Will Hobbs, but of course he hasn't gone there. But they attacked Darby after the match. But yeah, I want to see what Darby. I want to see him work with new people. I want to see him defend the title often. I really want to see some new people get elevated. Working with Darby, like I said, I would love to see. I would love to see Darby versus Miro eventually, and see Darby beat Miro. I don't think Miro doesn't need a title right now. But I would love to see Darby keep elevate himself. I just want him to be safe, though. Golly, that man could take a bump. Jesus Christ.
I don't get how he could do it.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Definitely our Shane McMahon.
My God.
Take bumps.
Jesus Christ. You had the AEW Women's World Championship match. You had Ashita versus Nyla Rose, and I'm going to give this match as much attention as the AEW Dynamite gives to women. I mean, it was a good match, and there's nothing much to say because there's no reason for us to talk about the AEW women's division until they put as much focus on the women's division. And that's rude. I apologize because those ladies worked their ass off. But come on, I really wish. And I have a point for this later on. But I mean, it was a good match. She does dope. So, and international bans are starting to be lifted. So hopefully we can see some talent come back, back to the stateside to help their division. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, all I could do is give them like an A for effort. They went out there and tried their best, but like you said, like there's no like real focus on the women's division. Honestly, I'd say the only time where there was like the women's division was at the top of its game was when Nyla was champion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. It's like we wanted Nyla to run through everyone. So that's why we were more focused on the women's division then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like right now, like you said, like we need more focus, like more people going for the title, not like quick storyline matches or whatnot.
Right. And, I mean, more power to NWA and cross band promotions. But if NWA defends their title on your television, but you don't have your own champion defend their title, there's something wrong with that. I'm sorry. There's something wrong with that. Maybe that's just me. More power to those who enjoy it. I love cross brand. I mean, I'm all for the cross brand promotion stuff, but if your own title's not on, if your own champion's not on the show, but the NWA champion's on the show, to me that's a problem. You know, but I'm not the booker. Then we had the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the Young Bucks versus FTR, with an ode to tag teams everywhere. Worldwide race started off. We know the Young Bucks won this match, but what were your instant thoughts watching this? So I have some thoughts, but I want to hear from you first. What were your thoughts on this match?
Like I was thinking about it earlier, and I said like this match had all three things: the good, the bad, and the just plain ugly. The good is, like you said, it was an ode to tag team wrestling. Fucking love that they went out and did all the tag team finishers, like the Steiner Bulldog. I saw them. I peeped them. Like I remember the Young Bucks did like the Spear, the Edge and Christian finishers.
Yep, they did
and
3D.
the 3D, and then like the Twist of Fate and Swanton. Like everything was perfect. Like that was a pure tag team match. The bad came towards the end where I saw Matt Jackson. He delivered his super kick, but the thing is, he delivered his super kick with the same leg that they was working the entire match.
Right.
Like, and he didn't sell it as much as you expect someone who just a few minutes ago they had him tied up and they jumped off the rope and did the whole stomp the leg thing. And the just plain ugly was that super kick is what was the game winner.
Right, and just fell back on him for the pin.
Yeah, it's like you delivered the super kick with the leg that's been working. Like, shouldn't that leg have way less power? And like for those that will say like, oh, he put all of it into it, then he should have been basically selling like I don't want you to get any PTSD, but basically he should have been selling the way Derrick Rose was selling his knee in the 2013 playoffs against the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah.
There's no Derrick Rose slander on this show.
Basically, he should have been selling it like went for the super kick and just immediately dropped down like, and yeah, he could have crawled to the victory, but he just delivered the super kick, basically gave his knee a little tap, and then went for the pin. And that left me like, wait, that's it? Like they were working the entire leg, the whole match, like that super kick should have taken him out as well. Like it should have been, you could have either had like the referee doing the count and him like crawling over, like, acting as if his leg was dead and going for the pin or something. But instead, it was just like super kick. He dropped down, did the little Peter Griffin knee thing, then went for the pin.
And then of course, FTR, no flips, just fists. But then, Cash took to the air, did a 450 off the ropes. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was, like you said, had a little bit of everything. Had in the middle of it, the match, when it was really going on, the flow was good. FTR was really cutting off the ring. Quality tag team wrestling. I love the love letter with all the finishers. I really wish they could have spaced them out a little bit more. I think FTR did an okay job with that, but they went from the 3D instantly to the Twisted Fate Swanton. And I think and to me, that's where I think not having a crowd is, because you go by the crowd, you hit the 3D, you get a pop, and that's going to slow you down a little bit. And then you go into the next. It reminds me of Tyler Bate versus Walter, and he did all the moves from his mustache crew, British strong style, or Kenny Omega versus Okada. And he did all the Bullet Club moves, similar. When you have a crowd, you really can pace yourself when you do these big throwback callback moves, I would say. So to me, that was where and I know they had 1,000 people there, but it's not we both know it's not the same, to that. Oh my God, 3D, and then the pop.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the twist of fate to the swanton bomb pop. It was like bam, bam. And to me, those are deadly finishers. I don't think they should be used as setup moves, personally. But that's right. But it's also wrestling today. I understand because the DDT used to be a finisher, and now everybody does DDT. I just thought there was could have been a little bit spread out. I also agree with you with the super kick. I think he could have just dragged himself over there. But I thought it was dope. Matt Jackson is a warrior. Nick is just phenomenal. FTR, I'm pretty sure Dax's hand was really hurt, and he fought through it that entire match. So, and I know they probably had a lot of pressure. That match was built up for years. But I thought to me, it reminded me of when AJ Styles went against Nakamura at WrestleMania. It was built up to be such an amazing match because what they did at Wrestle Kingdom. But when they got to WrestleMania with different style, it was a good match, but it wasn't what we all wanted, more so in our minds. Yeah. I would say the same with I think the second time, but then later on as they fought more, it got better. I think the same thing with FTR Young Bucks when they get a rematch. I think the second match will be better than the first, which is saying a lot because the first match wasn't like we're critiquing it like it was a bad match, but I think it's just because they're such great talents. We expect, like glorious perfection.
Instant classic,
right? And I'm not gonna lie. After that match, it went to that elite deletion, and I watched that, and it's not for me. Let's leave cinematic matches in 2020, ladies and gentlemen. That match was not for me. I'm trying to stay positive as much as I can. I'm the positive one, but I was like, what the hell am I watching? Like, I understand the TNA throwbacks. It was nah. And then Sammy should have won, personally. I thought, because Matt, even though Matt was concussed Matt actually beat him. So Sammy should have got at least the dusty finish or the dusty 50-50 booking at least. But I'm not gonna lie. As soon as that match was done, bro, I turned to college football and I watched Clemson and Notre Dame. Then I watched the coronavirus rush the field afterwards, and then I watched the Chappelle Show, and I watched everything else in the morning. We'll talk about that. But what were your thoughts on the elite deletion?
I like it. I mean, first of all, I will pop every time there are fireworks in a Hardy match. Like, I don't know why that shit gets to me. I'm like, hell yeah.
That was so stupid to me. I hated it.
Especially when he caught up to Sammy and you literally saw the fireworks bouncing off him. And Sammy Guevara was just a good seller at like any like comedy based match. Like Guevara could sell his ass off. Like Guevara and Proud and Powerful. Like if you need a comedy match, you need someone to do that comedic selling. Like they are A1. I like how
that was too much for me. That was too much. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like I love how they basically reached in and basically bounced off everything because all the quote unquote like backstage heat from their past like matches and stuff. I like how they used that in their match, like the whole chair shot and them falling off through a table, through concrete. I like how they took shots at all of that. Like guess what? We're doing it now. Like, say something type thing.
It was stupid.
I like
it. It was stupid.
I don't know why, but I also love when wrestlers basically, throw shade at like journalists who says like, oh, they're getting backstage heat for doing this. And the wrestler, the next match actually does it. And they're like, do something about it. Like, write about that. Which basically shows that some journalists just need to just shut up.
I wouldn't even call them journalists; they're more like commentators because it's disrespectful to journalism to call these wrestling folks journalists. But it was. I did not like that match whatsoever. I'm sorry.
Ooh, I loved it. I'm sorry.
I did not like that, man.
Especially like with
Hurricane. Gang Girl came out of any. Like, what the fuck, bro?
And then like when Hurricane like first went into the Lake of Reincarnation and he came back as his journalist gimmick. Like,
speaking of journalists,
like I popped at that. Then they threw him in the lake again. He came back as Hurricane. Like,
what's up with that? What's up with that match? Okay, Private Party. I know they're being trained, but that their appearance, like, it was so slow. Like, we know they were coming, but it's like, come on. Like, what's taking you so damn long to run to the ring? Like that shit was dumb. I'm sorry. Gangrel's appearance, I understand the backstory, but to me that was it was too much. It was too much for me. Like it's not my cup of tea. As wrestling is subjective, we say that all the time. I was so tuned out, and it was late. That's another thing. This show ran long. Like Jesus Christ, you would think this was a WrestleMania. How long this show ran? For real. So next up, we had MJF go against Chris Jericho with the if MJF wins, he's in the inner circle, and then little lie and cheat, we steal magic, and MJF with the roll up win.
He outsmarted Jericho in his own game.
And it was interesting, and of course,
because like with past AEW matches, Jericho is the one that tries to outsmart you, but it always backfires and whatnot. So MJF basically pulled a Jericho out of his bag and was like, all right, you want to do that, but watch me do it to you. And he did the lie, cheat, and steal. He grabbed the ring and plucked him. Like Jericho couldn't even be mad at that. He was just like, you got me. Like,
if I'm playing fantasy booker and I'm saying MJF joins the inner circle for the full year, hear me out. MJF joins the inner circle, leading into maybe close to Revolution. Not Revolution. Let's go with Double or Nothing. All right, so let's go May. He either wins the TNT title, or he positions himself to be the leader of Inner Circle. You start that inner turmoil. Mind you, fast forward, fans are like, let's say the world's back to normal. Jericho so he kicks out Jericho so Jericho can go touring with Fozzy. So now MJF is the leader of the Inner Circle. Fast forward to the next full year. Cody cannot challenge for a title, but Cody Rhodes can challenge for the title. Cody Rhodes will win the title before then, which will set up a match between MJF versus Cody Rhodes for the AEW Heavyweight Championship next year at Full Gear.
You lost me with the whole Cody Rhodes could get a title.
No, because Cody, remember, couldn't win the title. But Cody Rhodes can. Remember, he lost when he lost to Jericho. No. Cody couldn't win a title. But Cody, now mind you, Kenny Omega probably will be the champion. So
it's just like
it's mute. But to me, that's
I'm Mr. America, brother.
Pretty much.
I'm not Hulk Hogan, dude. I'm Mr. America, brother.
I'm just saying that's what the internet's talking about. Cody can't challenge, but Cody Rhodes can. I'm just saying.
That's more stupid than when they announced All Out and fucking Starrcade and they had the fucking Chicago 4 stars and everyone was like, oh, that's CM Punk's logo. The 4 stars. They're hinting that CM Punk was coming around. Like I'd put that idea in the same category as that. Like
if it happens, I'm just saying you owe me. I'm healthy now, so you owe me a bottle of water. But it's got to be no Dasani because Dasani is trash.
I will Aquafina your ass if that happens.
We are
Get the fuck out of here.
We are the Culture Cast, for the culture, by the culture. We do it for the culture. And if you're not down with the culture, we just can't help you, bringing you everything you need to know in the world of wrestling. Last match was an I Quit match. Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley for the AEW world title. And it was gruesome to watch. I saw it this morning. It was rough. It was
what happens when you put 2 tough boys in the match.
It was physical. I was like, oh my Jesus. It was
because Eddie Kingston could go with the best, and Moxley could also go with the best, and both of their backgrounds, so you ram those 2 trucks head on.
And maybe I'm just so not used to blood because of WWE condoning me not to watching that many blood anymore. But so when I see so much blood, I'd be like, oh my God, what's going on? So much blood, like, but every Moxley match, I'm just now accustomed to it. He's gonna bleed in about 15 minutes. It's like you can start a drinking game, counting the over under on when Mox is gonna bleed. So. Seriously, that shouldn't be a joke, but it's so serious, unfortunately. Very physical match, and then a Kenny Omega came at the end after Kingston technically said I quit. I don't even know if you said I quit.
Speaking of Kenny Omega, that's what we forgot. Remember in the tag match when Kenny came out?
Oh,
Did
yes.
you peep in the
corner
the entrance? Yeah.
Adam Page was in the corner looking like, hello. Is it me you're looking for? So that's, it's long-term storytelling. It's obvious long-term storytelling, but it's long-term storytelling. But that kind of wraps up Full Gear. It was, solid show. Their best, pretty much, AEW had a streak of like good TV, but up and down pay-per-views, and I think that was their best one since Revolution. So kudos to them. Just I hope they put some respect on the damn woman. Now Red Velvet has a match coming up on Dynamite this week. Child. So shout out to Red Velvet. I'm rooting for everybody black. But let's talk about some things coming up with us. Ray, I heard you've been working and you've been doing some GM work. What's some potential things in the works here at the Culture Cast?
Just like I tell everyone else about me, it's all about the element of surprise. You'll know when you find out.
You said it. You said it best. So make sure you guys follow us on social media. You can follow me. I run the Culture Cast Pod on Twitter. So if you want to click on Keith Lee Treat in My Life, you can do that. Just go to a page. I quoted the tweet, or you can just click on his tweet and see. Let's see. I think we started this episode with 800 likes. That people liked his not clapback, but his response to me. We are now. We started recording this maybe an hour, maybe 40 minutes ago. So we are now at 867. So a few more. So shout out to Keith Lee. I'm going to tell all 867 people that like that post to follow us real quick. So
are you trying to do the whole SoundCloud? I don't have a SoundCloud.
I don't have a SoundCloud, but we got a podcast. Definitely about to click that link, drop that link in the bio. Might as well. But anyways, shout out to that though. Ray, any final thoughts? What's going on? Anything you want to share before we get out of here?
I don't know. It'll probably pop up after we're done recording, like always.
Pretty much. I just want to say for those who are happy with the results, I definitely just want to say I'm with you. We're with you, but the work does not stop just because we made this happen. Big accomplishment, big step. For those in Georgia in January, you got that runoff coming up. But for us here in Illinois, state politics, local politics, apply pressure. All right, guys, we need to continue to stay active, continue to stay informed, continue to ask questions. We are the Culture Cast. And not only do we do this for the culture, we are the culture. You saw how much black people did for this election. Black people won this election. I'm going to be 100% fucking honest. Black people won this election. Black people saved them in South Carolina, and black people won this election. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to Milwaukee. All right? And maybe we'll throw Phoenix, Arizona in there too. But black folk in Detroit, can't forget about Detroit. So black folks won this election. So don't ever question, don't ever falter when somebody says your vote doesn't have power. It's how you apply your vote and how you use your vote and make your voice heard. All right. But it does not stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Continue to apply pressure. All right. The fun is just beginning. This is the O You Should Know. Omar Kill Solomon. We got Worldwide Ray. Ray, take us out of here.
I want some baked macaroni.
And we're done.
with the cheese on top, properly baked till it's like golden brown.
Happy birthday, Keith Lee. Adios.
Some dressing.